Hello, Tim from Fair Play now on the 11th of May 2024. So, quick question for you. Do you think that inflation, when you're talking about financial stuff, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I've always been taught and heard over the years that kind of minor inflation, small amounts of annual inflation, as long as your kind of salary keeps pace with it, is actually a good thing. Because if you think about it, if you're making or thinking about a large purchase, new car, new kitchen, bathroom, whatever it might be, if there's always a bit of inflation going on, you're going to be prompted to make that purchase decision sooner rather than later, because if you leave it a year, whatever it is going to be 3, 4, 5% more expensive. If you leave it for a couple of years, it's going to be even more expensive still. So you're better off kind of making that purchase now, and that is what kind of keeps the economy ticking over. Because if there is zero inflation, you wouldn't have quite the same incentive. You'd be tempted maybe to put off the buying decision for a few months or a year or so, and especially if there's deflation where the cost of things like that are going down a few percent a year, you might even be tempted to leave it a couple of years because it's going to be, $1,000 or so cheaper then, and that would cause the economy to stagnate. People wouldn't be buying so much, regardless of whether it was zero inflation or deflation. And that would mean that companies might go bust, people would lose jobs, and it wouldn't be good for the economy. At least that is what the propaganda says. But like all of these other things that we've been told are actually good things, but our research in recent years has found it to be, in fact, a bad thing. I'm sure you know of other things that we could be talking about as far as that sort of thing's concerned. There are people who think that it's the same with inflation, and inflation is a kind of financial repression in actual fact, where the powers that shouldn't be effectively steal your wealth year on year. I think, again, a guy who I'm going to talk about in a minute says that their aim is to actually steal half of your wealth every 22 years. So if you've got a few bob in the bank, a bit of savings in the bank, whether that's a few grand or even a few $100,000, whatever, they are sort of wanting to take that from you, because the powers that shouldn't be, it's all about basically taking your effort. That is the most valuable thing to them. They want your energy, your sort of work, your knowledge. They want to use that and benefit from it whilst paying you as little as they can get away with in return, and taking as much of what they do give you away from you again in the form of taxes, in the form of sales taxes, all sorts of other taxes. That's why they're always bringing in new taxes all the time. And inflation is just another form of tax where they basically take your money away from you. As I say, they try and do it at a rate of half your wealth every 22 years. It's kind of around that level normally, so that it's not too noticeable, but that is effectively what is happening, and it's called financial repression. And the powers that shouldn't be, in theory, don't need to do all of the draconian stuff, 15-minute cities, etc., etc. All they need to do is bring in financial repression, whether it's in the form of taxes or restrictions on what you can do with your money, or inflation just robbing your savings from you, basically. So they can do it like that. And where I've learned this kind of thing from is a guy called Jonathan Davis. Now, as you know, I was attending the Uprise and Shine talks last weekend. There was a lot of talkers there. All of them were really good, but I personally found the best one, the most useful one, to be Jonathan Davis, who actually used to be in the mainstream media. He was famous a while ago for really saying the opposite to what all of the other so-called financial experts were saying. If they were saying, oh yeah, everything's going to be rosy, he was saying, well, hold on a minute, I don't think it is. We need to be looking at this, this and this kind of thing. And I think his most famous kind of prediction was just before 2008, 2009. He was saying, the economy and the financial state of affairs is going to be crashing. It's going to be going to hell, basically. And that's what he was saying. And everybody else, all these other experts, were sort of saying nonsense. There's no way that's going to happen. What are you on, mate, kind of thing. And we all know how that one turned out, don't we? So he has got a good track record of calling these things out. And this talk, he was talking about financial repression, inflation, going into it in a lot more depth than what I've just done here. And luckily, yours truly filmed his talk. So it's going to be coming out a little bit later on this evening on this channel. So do look out for it. I think you're going to find it really, really amazing, really, really useful. He was saying all sorts of things about what you can expect to be happening over the next few years, a decade or two, and what you could possibly do to mitigate it or even benefit from it. This isn't financial advice. I do a little intro to his talk where I'm saying, you need to do your own due diligence as well, and that the video is only for information purposes only. So you'll see that when the video comes out as well. But just reiterating that here. But he's a very entertaining talker, very, very interesting, and I think you'll really like it. So be on the lookout for that a bit later on. And if you think inflation's a good thing, at least minor inflation, moderate inflation is a good thing, his talk might change your mind, as indeed it did change mine. Not that I really had an opinion on it, to be honest with you. I always thought, inflation's a bit of a pain in the backside, but that argument the mainstream puts out that, at least it benefits the economy by, making people buy things sooner rather than later. I kind of did used to believe that propaganda, but not so sure now. But anyway, do look out for that, and it's going to be a really good watch for you. Goes on for about an hour and a quarter, but I think it will be an hour and a quarter very well spent. And what I'll do when that other video comes out, so if you're watching this a bit later on, I'll actually have a link to that video under this video in the description box below this video. But I can't do that for a couple of hours until the other one comes out. So if you're an early watcher of this, you'll just have to wait for that video to come out bit later on this evening, like I say. So I'm busy doing all of these videos. from the Uprise and Shine. Been very busy doing that. Also been doing a bit of, now that we finally got a bit of spring-like weather here in the UK, I've been busy doing a bit of spring cleaning outside as well, cleaning all the windows and the gutters and the fascias and that. I think I've got a bit of, caught a bit of sun actually. I don't know if my face looks a bit red here, but at least I'm getting a bit of vitamin D, eh? I am a little bit behind on my emails, by the way. So if you've sent me an email recently and got no reply from me, that is why. I've just been really busy doing all kinds of things. Work's been quite busy as well, and but I will get round to answering your emails, hopefully in the not too distant future for you. So anyway, gonna leave it there, and like I say, look out for this Jonathan Davis talk be coming out hopefully pretty soon, next hour or two. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.